Okay, let me say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever part of the world you are joining us. We want to say welcome to the Myers TV Awareness and Emotional Intelligence Flag Show. And tonight we are here to talk about something very, very important on a topic that is so essential to us as an individuals uh, who are living in society today and wherever part of the world you are joining us, we want to say welcome tonight again. Tonight I am your official host on this show, and then alongside with Miss Queen, who is also going to be serving as the co-host for tonight. And we have our panelist, Mr. Philip Dolo. We're going to have Mr. Afra, Timo going to be joining us tonight, and then that of Miss Susie also going to be here tonight as our panelist. And tonight, our guest for this show is no other person but Miss Jocelyn BC Tume, the president for all Liberian students in India. She's going to be our guest tonight, talking about mental health is not a, or it should not be like a weakness to us. We can try to overcome whatever problems or situation we undergo when it comes to our mental health issue. So wherever part of the world you are joining us, we say welcome tonight. We urge you to please follow us on Facebook and then down on YouTube. You can go and subscribe to our YouTube channels. We are right now live there. We are live streaming right now on YouTube. Let's stay tuned tonight as we go through this all important show. I believe tonight we're going to have a fruitful conversation with our guest. So while we are with our guest in a few minutes, let's take our musical break. And then once we get back, we're going to take the introduction of our co-host and then that of our panelists and our guests, and then we keep the ball rolling. So stay tuned tonight. Do not forget to share as many as you can do for us. Your question also mean a lot to us. You can ask your question. We will also open a line for calls. You can place in your call to be part of the discussion tonight. Having said this, let's go for our musical break, and then once we get back, we kick the ball rolling.
Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream from Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture. Myers TV, Myers TV, bringing light each day. Stories that guide us, show the way. One love, one voice, one destiny. Welcome to the future, Myers TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true. But when I'm Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into a
All right, let me say welcome back. Thanks for joining us tonight. And tonight we are here to talk on a very, very important topic that a lot of us need to know about. We say mental health is not a weakness. And looking at it tonight, when we talk about mental health tonight, I'm going to start. But firstly, before we go through our discussion, let me just give our time to my co-host and then that of panelists to introduce themselves. Then we're going to start the ball rolling. Our guest is going to be joining us very shortly. So, Miss Queen, I want to say good evening and welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bonham Bias, for the opportunity. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening as the location you are following from. My name is Queen Annie, the co-host for today's show, and I'm currently residing in India. Thank you so much. Hope to see you all for your participation through your comment sections. Put your thoughts in the comment section, your questions, and it will be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So let's listen to you, Mr. Dodo. Good evening, and we are so glad again seeing you, our program director. Welcome tonight to the show. What do you have to say to the listeners tonight?
Thank you, sir. And again, a pleasant evening to you as well as Miss Queen. And I also send a pleasant evening or warm greetings to all of our followers who are always here to support us. You know, we see you as families, we see you as friends, and thank you for always tuning in to have this fruitful discussion or conversation so we all can learn together, we grow together, we develop together personally. So it's always a great time on the Mass Television. And for tonight, like we have the topic mental health is not a weakness, it's actually a critical topic that we need to actually give a serious conversation around. I mean, I look forward to having a good one, especially, having Miss Tume, the president for all Liberian students in India, on the show. Yes, it promises to be so insightful, so impactful because I believe she brings, to the discussion and to the platform some great insight and experiences. So I look forward to a handsome and beautiful conversation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. And ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome in studio tonight, or you can already see with us, the first face of the Liberian students in India, Madam Jocelyn BC Tume. Uh, we've been keeping her. I know a lot of people have been asking, but why we haven't seen, last year she was always with us. Why? And was like, we are keeping her for a special occasion. And yeah, tonight she with us. Madam Tume, we want to say welcome to the Miles TV, and we are super excited to have you tonight with us. Just tell our people a little bit. I believe that Manatume profile have had her in the past time now, because it's been a long time we've been seeing her. So I know there are some things but our people would like to know you, a little bit. Can you just speak to our people, then we can start our discussion tonight?
Thank you so much, Myers. Thanks to uh, Philip, and thanks to
Yes.
all the panelists here. I'm seeing the honorable Lady Queen. Uh, it's always a pleasure being here on Myers TV. I miss you guys a lot. I know we have been up and down, but we always make time for the things that we know will benefit our people. So again, I'm Jocelyn BC Tume. To everyone following us today, it's an honor to be the first female president of ALSI, and I'm here pursuing my PhD in bioenergy. And yeah, uh, nowadays they say have expertise in many things. You don't know which one works. So I'm glad to be here to give my own input as it relates to our topic for tonight, and it's going to be exciting. Wheresoever you are, if you can get your pen and your book, let's discuss, let's learn together, and let's have this show. I hope you can get one thing from here tonight and take it with you for the rest of your life. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure being here.
Thank you, ma'am.
So let me say thank you so much, Madam President. Thank you for that. So let's just take like 1 minute, Madam President. Can you tell us how is ALSR?
I was
Just a
reading your
minute,
terms.
one minute.
I was reading your terms and condition, Myers. You said no politics.
Madam President, we just want to know how the student body, we are not going to politics, but just to know how, the student body doing, you being the first phase of it. We are not going to politics, we are
I
independent
know, I
people.
know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to put the CEO leg. Great man. So ASI is going well, and we are trying our best. Despite the many challenges we are having, we are doing everything we can to ensure that our community is thriving, our students are safe, pursuing academics, and the concerns or constraints we are having, we are finding the best way possible to see how best they can get resolved. So right now we just have one person issue on our mind about a student from Greater Nordia who has been sick for the last 6 months. He has been in the hospital. He graduated with masters, Going back home, he fell off, and since August of 2025, he has been hospitalized, and his condition is something we have to look into urgently because he has a running bill of around $50,000 based on the critical the criticality attached with his condition. So this is just one of the pressing concerns we have at the moment. But we are reaching out to to media outlets to see how best we can all come together and help him. So there what we are for now, and the ASL convention is coming up in this month. We all know that. So these are some of the concerns that we are having right now and upcoming events, yes, that we are having right now.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Thank you for that. We just wanted to know how his ALS are, and thank you so much. And we hope that our brother and friend who is, hospitalized, we pray that the Almighty God can grant him, that strength and courage. It takes a lot to see a young man who pursue a few studies going back to make impact in society, and such a thing comes his way. So we are asking all of our followers, as well as you are following us tonight. Here is where we stand today as students in Liberia, in India, sorry, calling on all Liberians, other nationals to please join us in supporting our brother in health condition. It matters a lot. That's why tonight we talk about a topic called mental health is not a weakness. So we're going to look at it tonight. And it's just similar thing, a lot of us we face, Madam President, we look at the fact that we talk about mental health, talk about how we think, how we feel, these things surround us. And there are a lot of us today in our society, Madam President, feel like, giving us sometimes when there's a stigma that we carry sometimes, the way people look at us, the way people addresses us, we feel like no life has leaving us. We feel so frustrated sometimes in our society. We from the medical side, mostly we from the surgical department. There are some people never dream of having, let's say, a nerve touching any part of their body. But sometimes when they get to the surgical room, coming back outside and seeing themselves, they are no longer, able to do certain things. Right? Whenever you want to do certain things, people are like, no, you did an operation and then you are not to do this. Sometimes they feel so ashamed of those things that they go through. These are problems, these are challenges our society faces with today. And a lot of people today, they are not able to talk to these people or be able to encourage them that yes, indeed, they can still make a change, they can still make a difference in society. But rather they try to provoke them, they try to lead them to anger. And sometimes these people feel
Yeah.
so frustrated, and at the end of the day, they want to give up. They feel like life has failed in them, that they can no longer make it. And these are things tonight we want to look at. Madam President, what say you when it comes to our topic tonight? Mental health is not a weakness. What say you tonight on that, Madam President?
Thank you so much for asking me that. Firstly, it's always good to know what we are talking about. So, I would like to give us the definition of mental health. And it's saying, according to the World Health Organization, mental health is our emotional, psychological, and social well being that influence on how we think, how we behave, and how we cope with life. So, that is mental health. But when it comes to the fact where mental health is not a weakness, it means that just as you are having some illness, let's say for instance, you get sick or you have a headache. But when you have a headache, can you still cook? Yes, you can cook. And also, let's say you have malaria. When you have malaria, can you still move around? Yes, you can move around. So, when it comes to the mental health, despite there might be some conditions that you are facing mentally, it doesn't put you in that position where it becomes a barrier for you to be able to work effectively or for you to be able to function effectively. As we said, is basically the way you think, the way you behave, and the way you act. So there is mental health. Once you are able to behave emotionally right, you are able to be rational, and also your psychological well-being is intact. That is, your mental health is stable. But when you have some challenges in your behavior, in your thinking pattern, then you may be having some barriers in executing specific or certain tasks. But I love the topic tonight because we are saying that despite someone may be having a particular challenge in executing a specific task, it doesn't basically or it doesn't practically mean that that person is limited overall. And it doesn't make that person a weaker vessel or a weaker human being. And one thing that we have to look at, one thing I want us to look at is those conditions that can be aligned with mental health or mental health conditions that may seem like a weakness, but can in its form not be a weakness. Stay with me. Once a person is having, let's say, a person is having a rough day, okay, once you are having so many tasks to do, you see that the brain, sometimes the neurons going to the brain are not able to analyze or to be able to interpret whatsoever thing you have to do at that moment. And once such thing happens, your effectiveness becomes slow. But once you are able to get in a stable position where your brain have interpreted whatsoever or is being transferred to it and be able to give you the signal, definitely you can get back on track and do what you have to do. One another great concern as it relates to mental health, people think that once somebody has, some mental issue, or that person is not qualified to be in a certain place in a certain time. But today, I want us to change that mindset. If somebody can have a brief mental series or a mental problem for a certain period of time, the first thing I want us to know, yeah, mental illness or mental conditions can be killed. Mental conditions can be killed. Some mental conditions, causes of mental problems or mental illnesses can be from stress, anxiety, and these are short-term conditions. As I was saying, if you are having a situation where you are not able to be effective at a particular time and you're having multiple tasks to do and you break down those tasks and be able to take them one after the other, definitely you can be effective. And also, let's say once you start having too many things you are thinking about, you might not be able to be effective in other places, but these are just short-term conditions or short-term happenings that can be what revives over a short period of time. So when a person is in that phase where they are facing some constraint, most especially in executing a particular task or be able to communicate clearly or on a particular thing, it doesn't basically mean that that person is not mentally stable. It just means that at that moment, they might be having some mental challenges, which proves that in that moment, maybe they require some time or they require some assistance or they require some medical support. So once that person has the medical support that they need or have the assistance that they need, they directly or they get back on their feet. And I love the basis you laid when you said there are many times in our society today where people feel that if somebody has a particular problem, if somebody is going through something, they conclude and even if that person gets healed, let's say people who are taking drugs, okay, people who are taking drugs. So people who are taking drugs at a certain time, once you are under the influence of drugs, it means that your brain might not be functioning as a normal person brain may function. There are different, there are different neurons and different happenings that might be going on with you. But let's say this is where we want to stand against mental health being, a weakness for people. Because the society is programming people in a way that a person who was taking drugs before, even if they get better, people don't see them to be what? They don't see them to be at a certain level. They don't see them to be qualified for certain things because they think that because that person was in a particular situation at the time, that person don't have the ability to be able to think rightly, to be able to act rightly. and dealt with. It is the society that is limiting people, not the condition. So once you have a society that is limiting people based on their perceptions and their assumptions, it also proves that that person finding themselves in the society is going to be hard. But this is the way that we can be able to help. Once a person has been detected or diagnosed of a particular mental health condition and that person has been killed, the society has to be able to absorb that person into that setting and be able to see the person now for who they are instead of stereotyping them and also drawing some demarcations that this person is this person is that, and stop stigmatizing them, but rather absorb them with. What am I using?
Are you there, Madam President?
Yes, 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 I'm here.
Thank you so much for that. And I believe that our people who are watching tonight, we just listened to the introductory part of this particular topic. And Madam President have said a lot of things that we listeners have to take into consideration because a lot of us today, we are mentally ill. And then we feel like we don't no longer want to explain it to people because there are some things come to our mind, telling people those mental problems you are faced with sometimes. Madam President, you feel sometimes people feel like they are going to be mocked out, like you said previously in your statement, right? Some people feel like society is not going to accept them because of those mental
Yeah.
conditions that they are faced with. So they are going to be left out from society. Because of this, you see people keep these things in them. And at the end of the day, sometimes the only time you get to know these things of Philip and then that of Queen, unless they reach us to the place where these methods are problem decide to suppress and where they need where
Hmm.
they are being hospitalized, that's the time you see they try to speak out. And sometimes it's something like it's late because if you are going to say this earlier, there are some solutions. Like you said, Madam President, all these things we talk
Hmm.
about anxiety, we talk about stress. There are people there that can provide, provide how you call it, treatment or what have you for all these things that we go through as a person. So whenever you see yourself, like the president said in our introduction, whenever we find ourselves in any of these conditions, what we need to do, we have to reach out to people and then not to keep, silent. Philip, let's hear you on the next 1 minute. Why you have to say or add to what our president had just said, you being our panelist for tonight.
Thank you for the time, Mayas. And I would like to thank, Miss Tume for her explanation. She was right on point, and what I saw actually in her explanation is all about us, having a sign of responsibility and also self-awareness, right? So when people tend to like focus on their physical health and then forget about their mental health, what comes in is the lack of understanding where we have to, be self-aware about our feelings that we talked on last week. You have to be self-aware about your emotions, and you have to learn how to manage those emotions. So your inability to manage your emotion, your inability to manage your stress, and manage our everyday challenges we face in life, if you lack that basic understanding and knowledge, what happens? You become overwhelmed because already the world we live in is full of chaos, stress everywhere, pressure is everywhere. Now, it's important that we recognize those things, those emotions, those feelings. It's important. But you might hear someone saying to you, Myers, it's okay, bro. Be strong. Stop complaining. No, that's not a remedy. That is not a remedy of me telling someone who is, mentally stressed, telling them to be like, it's okay, you've got to be strong, such is life, these things happen. Yes, of course, these things happen, but that's not a remedy to, us very weak when it comes to mental health. So our ability to recognize our emotion, it actually calls for our self-awareness. That is a skill that we all have to practice. We are not born being self-aware. It is actually a skill that we can develop over time. That's one aspect. And the second aspect, while she spoke, I actually grab from there is responsibility, right? We gotta take responsibility of every single thing we go through. It's important. It's very important because this mental health thing is actually about you. It's actually about me and us, managing how we feel in a particular situation. Now, if we identify that particular situation, there should be a space created for conversation. I think that's one of the best remedies that we can have to this mental health thing. Many a times we give attention to physical health. That's important. People get malaria, people is broken, and you be like, go to the hospital, seek medical treatment. Yes, that's one thing. But what happens when we are mentally ill? The only therapy we need is a space where we can, communicate our feelings. The ability of us communicating properly how we feel on our inside gives us relief. But if you tell me, Miles, Philip, okay, be strong, I'm dying silently. You don't know what's eating me up. So allow me to speak up. When I speak up, if you understand exactly what I'm going through, you can be able to give me the best advice. You could be a mentor, or you can recommend to me a counselor, right? Yeah, that's it, Niles. But these days, the world we live in, even
Thank,
our they will tell you, bro, you've got to be strong. You are a man. You have to. Oh,
Like they will tell you you have to be a man. And I like what Philip is saying because these are some of the things that kill people suddenly. And
yes. Oh, we lost man.
stats is now showing us that many men are dying slowly inside. And they are not dying because they are weak or they're not dying because they are sick, but they are dying because their minds are being disturbed. You
Right,
see, and that is a mental health issue. Emotions is one of the quickest trigger to our mental health.
right,
Once you are not able to regulate your emotions, once you are not able to be able to understand your own, like the way you behave, your actions and everything, once you are not able to understand the way you feel and to be able to process them in a very in a good way, it disturbs your mind, and
mm,
it leads to stress, it leads to anxiety, and you will find a man who is carrying the weight of an entire family, the weight of his entire life on his shoulder, but yet no one to talk to,
right,
no one to talk to. And until you as a man is able to be emotionally intelligent, to be able to understand the way you feel, if you are unable to process personally what you are feeling, to be able to reach out to somebody, not for anyone to push you and say, oh meme, you have to talk or you have to be open. You have to be emotionally intelligent to know that what I'm feeling, I have to speak out, I have to get support. And in that way, once you do that, you start to build, you start to build your strength, you start to build your strength, and now your mental condition doesn't limit you, it doesn't stay as your weakness. But once you are unable to recognize your emotions, you are unable to process them, you are able to intelligently understand how you feel, it becomes a problem for you. But we are here to tell you that that is not a problem for you, because once you are able to recognize the way you feel, you are able to process it, and you are able to seek support, then your mental health becomes stable, and you are also able to gain the strength. Instead of it being your weakness or your emotions being your weakness, it becomes your strength.
right.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Tonight gonna be a great night. We want to say welcome to you, Mr. Alfred Timo, one of our panelists here for tonight. So let me get to my co-host, Queen. We are just on the first segment or the first question, and tonight we are hearing a lot of things that is coming up. There are some things can happen, Madam President, and then that of Philip you are saying. There are some we call it trauma, right? There are some things that people don't
Yeah.
expect. Unexpected incident occurs sometimes. And sometimes it break people down. It make people to feel like, no, I think I cannot make it. And feel like you said, what are those advices, or what do you think that we can tell people like that? Because These are positions that people never place themselves to, or they never expected those things, right? Let's take for example somebody coming from work, they never thought of getting into an accident because they feel like every morning they will get up, go to that working place, return home, go and look for their family daily bread, return home. That's their continuous routine, right? They always do it. But on a sudden faded, why coming from work, making yourself coming home, while families are awaiting you, you see yourself on a sudden having an accident. What are those solutions that you think community or society can provide? These are things the person never expected, they never dream of. These are problems they face. Sometimes they feel so traumatized because when a person, what comes to their mind? Number one, this person have family on them. They
Yeah.
are thinking what the family is, the few times that they are going to sit back, what the family going to be having,
I'm a family with
and
eat, yeah.
after they have get back on their feet, what are those working places that are still going to consider them? Because maybe that
Mm-hmm.
injury might be major something. They are going to consider them again. They feel like they are being broken down, a lot of things happening to them. But we want to take tonight our co-host, May Queen. Let's hear your own saying when it comes to this particular question on our topic tonight. Let's hear you, Miss Queen.
Let me say thanks so much to our host, Mr. Myers Bona, and to our guest in studio, Madam President, or we call her. Thanks so much for the time to our listener out there, our panelists. So, you guys were explaining what comes to my mind. This is one of the issues that we all face. No one is exempt from this particular topic or from this particular feelings. Everyone might have one way or the other face this or those challenges, right? When it comes to mental health, these are things that kill people, our physical being, in as much that we are healthy out there. People see that everything is okay, and knowing very well within ourselves that thing is not okay. Sometimes we pretend just, we don't want the public to judge us because of how society see mental health to be. Most especially in our country, Liberia, Africa. You see in the Western world, you will see that they have a therapy that when you have a problem, a situation, you go to, you trust them, you open up, you explain everything that they made to relax, to explain everything to them. But now we see in our country, in our society, from ourselves in, we don't have these things, or even if we have, people are not, their minds are not open to these things. They feel it's just an ordinary thing, right? Like we wanted the last time one of our brothers, our coach, that have some challenges with mental health and he couldn't talk to anyone, he went and commit suicide. These are things, that happen in our society. So coming of this particular topic on this show is carrying on awareness, encouraging our people out there that mental health is not a weakness. The fact that you can go through these things, stay master the courage to explain. It's not just easy to just trust a person to explain how much you feel, that even if you die tomorrow, the person will know what happened to you. It's not
Right.
easy to just open up to trust someone to that extent. But the fact that you master the courage to explain to this person, regardless of how they will judge you, the fact that you can even identify that you are not really okay mentally, that you need help, that's your strength as a person. So we all as a humans, we should take into consideration there's a same way we take care of our body. We need clothes for our body when our health is healthy, we need medication. We also have to take into consideration that mental health is very, very important. A part of, I'm not a medical student, but once your mental health is let's just say a simple around, right? One is something is bothering you, right? I don't care how you fake it out there. Your physical appearance, you
Yeah.
will start declining. You can't just fake these things. You will start to decline. Maybe the way you used to be active, you won't be anymore. Like education, the way you used to be, focus on your studies, everything about you, people will start to notice. So we should find trusted friend to build our trust around. We should also our community should also open awareness like we are doing now to carry on awareness out there, and people should be willing to accept the fact that they need a solution, that they need a person to confide in whenever they have such situation, because locking yourself in house, not want to talk to someone. That's how I used to be. Like I feel so insecure telling my problem to people because I don't want them to judge me. I feel that it's not worth telling. But till I can realize I cannot solve it on my own. like if I even be stressed, I need someone to talk to. Just that person giving a calm word, it breaks me down absolutely. That's how I heal. So if I'm not seeing these things like to communicate with people, I'll be happy out there. I'll go out there, I'll talk to people, normal thing on working level, on schools, academic stuff. But when I come home, the thing about mental health, after you finish faking it in a public like you are okay, once you come home, reality starts to hit you.
Then you start to you start to
Reality has
rethink.
Yeah.
reality start to hit you. So yeah,
That's
that's
true.
it.
That's
So
true.
happy it. That's it. Thank
Yeah.
you,
Thank
Miles.
you so much. While we're in studio, we saw one of our panelists, Mr. Alfred Timo. Alfred, welcome, and we are so excited to see you with the Miles TV brand tonight on, and we also see Philly as well with the Miles TV brand on tonight. We are so excited to have you people, patronizing the Miles TV brand. Let's hear you on this discussion. We are talking about mental health is not a weakness. Alfred, I want to give you the next 1 minute before we get back to our guest on another important question. Why say you? I want to take fitted word tonight. Why say you pertaining this question?
Oh, thank you, thank you so much, my brother. And a big salute to our president in the building, Miss Roslyn. A salute to Mother President and to my brother Philip. I'm happy to see you. To our co-host,
So then you got
Miss
feeling late, brother. What happened? You guys
the
are
president,
reconciled.
the president around. So the president around. I don't want the president to know what is going on between the both of us. So I will keep it cool. So how big when we actually hear about the topic, mental health, it is not our weakness. Uh, for me, I do understand how to say that mental health is not something that can actually destroy us. It's not something that can actually kill us. It's something that we can fight. It's something that we can strengthen. All depends the approach that we use to it. When Fede was just speaking, and then you were talking about men, you're talking about men because I would actually like to emphasize on men because nowadays, if you look at the global war, men are the main people that actually facing a lot of mental stress. I know people will say women also go through it. Yes, that's true. Women also go through it, but logically, men go through a lot because men are people that the world have proved to them that they shouldn't talk. If you talk, you are not a man. You shouldn't complain. Men shouldn't complain. Men should always remain silent. So because of that, we have learned how to cry with in-laws. So these are one of the key things that make men that at the age. You understand that nowadays in the world, most men die before even 70, sometimes 50, just the 50, 60 maximum because mental health killed them. But if we actually understand that we should express our feelings, we should know how to handle uh, this mental stress, this mental problem. We understand that these things is not our weakness. These things are not things that's supposed to kill, but it should be something it should be something that will make us strong, something that will actually understand and learn from it, and make sure that how we able to control it and put ourselves together. For instance, a man is in a home where he are being stressed by his wife, by children, by jobs, and whatsoever thing, and then he don't have the forum wherein he could express himself to say, oh, what he's doing is not right. You don't have the effort to explain to people, oh, here's what I'm going through at that point now. There are a lot of things that's going through his head, a lot of things that he's actually going through, but he just facing it him alone. There was a one great man who said that men don't have financial clock, but how did men have biological clock? Because men are people that you just have two things in life, which is you have to work and nobody care about what you will provide. Nobody care about how you do it, but they only care about what you going to provide in the home as a man. So because of that, you have to keep everything silent. There is one reason I actually watching, and then this guy said, as a man, there are two things that define you: either you are not a man or you are a man. So that means that if you actually survive, you are a man. If it does not survive, you are not a man. So Every man that's struggling to be a man, I mean that you have to understand mentorship, you have to understand these things, you have to understand your mental health, you have to understand how to compose yourself in terms of stress, in terms of pressure, how to relax yourself. The last time we were on the platform, I made mention of a guy by the name of Prince A from America who talked about the stress management. He said that at a certain point in time, you have to believe in yourself. You have to see at this point, you have to take a pause. You have to take a rest. You have to go for a walk. If there is party, you have to go home. You have to go on that party. You have to chill with your friends. If you go out, you have to do a beach walk. If you have a movie, you have to go for a movie night just to clear your head. One person, I don't care how that stress is, I don't care how difficult situation I'm in. I just have I just have that solution of me that I should see. What I'm seeing, people is laughing or not, or whatever thing I'm seeing is not good, I should just see and just clear my head. So I'll be I will stop for tonight and then we will continue later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alfred. You made us a certain point, and I hope our people who are watching tonight. So we have Mr. Jolly, sorry, Jackson, our Jolly, who is watching from all the way there in uh, from the UAE. He said, "Family, thanks very kindly for such a great topic in such a time as this." So I believe that someone somewhere tonight, they are watching and then they are passing through a situation right now, and then that's why we are here tonight to say there is a solution for this particular situation you are in right now, be it a stigma, be it stress, whatever thing anxiety you are passing through right now. We say let's continue to share the show tonight. You can also follow us on YouTube. We are live right now. You can go there as well to share, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So it's going to be a great one tonight. Madam President, we want to go to another thing, Madam President, and hope you are here with us. Madam President, a lot of people today, they hesitate when it comes to sharing their problem or sharing their, their feelings with people, their mental illness that they go through. They feel so, so shame. They feel like, I know me, I try to tell people because telling people they won't come to my problem. In fact, once you tell people they don't believe in confidentiality, now we from the hospital background, they always tell you about patient confidentiality. But a lot of people today who did not do that ethical thing, right? A lot of people out there, but yes, these are people that can still find solution to those problems we go through. But yes, still people hesitate when it comes to explaining those things that they go through to people because they feel like Queen was saying, they don't want John Brown to take their story and carry to Moses Brown. Like I tell Alfred now, what I'm passing through right now, what is really happening to me right now. And Alfred, I'm like, I want to tell Alfred, but I'm thinking that will Alfred not tell Philip? And I'll be like, but Philip also have Queen in connection with Queen Natia, Madam President as well. And this is going to circulate. Let's take, for example, a lot of time people are being suppressed when it comes to a lot of sickness or what have you, right? They feel that they want to tell people because maybe through telling the people they will try to get killed for it. But yesterday they think that way. Madam President, what solution or what method do you think we can put in place that will help these people who suffer or who hesitate when it comes to these challenges to express themselves? What method can we put in place to help them to be able to come out, in expressing themselves to others and then find a solution for them?
Okay, thank you so much. So I like to provide three solutions for anybody who is facing a condition, like going through a lot of things, or maybe suffering from trauma, anxiety, stress, stigma.
Sorry,
It can be from any source. It can be whether you were victimized before, whether you did something that was very bad, or maybe you told somebody before and now you think it's everywhere. Let's take for instance that girl who was just dancing, even though it was inappropriate, but the next day she wake up in the morning, everyone sharing it. So there are three things I like to recommend. The
Mr.
first
May,
thing I want everyone. Am I
President,
am
I
I
don't know why
audible?
your camera is not on.
open your camera.
Uh it's on from my side. Can you hear me and can you see me?
You are
No,
audible,
we are
but your
not
camera.
seeing you. Yeah, can you just leave and come back in just a second?
No problem, no problem.
Thank you, man.
Okay, okay. So I'll get President going to be joining us, or our guest tonight going to be joining us. But Philip, like she was saying, right? These are problems we face in our society, right? A lot of people now they feel so shy of coming up to explain what they go through in society, what they face within. Because like we said, that mental thing is not something without, it's within. It's something that bring you, you overthink, right? You feel like, what is happening? What is this thing? Everybody, you feel so bad sometimes when these things are happening. But yesterday, to come out and tell people don't want to do it, and once you are not able to come out at the end of the day, when this thing get chronic, that's why when we talk about, infection, they will tell you about acute and chronic infection. When infection is acute at the acute stage, what happens at the end of the day, it is time that you try to treat it very fast because it's just quick to get cured, right? But when it get to where it gets so chronic, to cure it sometimes, the chances of cure it sometimes is 50-50. That's the thing about it. So sometimes while you are facing that problem earlier, you'll be able to explain to people, they will be able to there provide solution for one of you. But yes, Madam President, like you were saying, so we come back to you. Why? What are those advice you have for people, or what are those mentors you think you want to give to people tonight?
Okay, thank you so much. As I say, I have three solutions for anyone going through this program. The first thing is that there is one person that is always present with you, like anytime, any place, and whatsoever you tell this person, if nobody hears it. And also, there is an instant solution for you, and this is God. Okay, for me, I cannot say something without talking about God. Okay, God is the only person that is always there at all the time, and also he cannot tell anyone about whatsoever you tell him, and also he can provide a solution for you. So once you have a problem that you think is weighing you down, just sit for a moment and talk about it to God and tell him, God, this is what I'm feeling right now. I don't, or I may not know what to do at this moment, but please help me. That's one of the solution. And also, I can tell you 100% it works and it provides solution for you, and even tell you what to do next. The next thing you can do is build good relationships. Okay, have good relationships with people. Like, having good relationship with people is not about you being the good person, but have relationship with good people, like a person that you can be able to talk to. Okay, you can be able to talk to them, and you are 100% sure that whatsoever you are telling them is safe, because everyone needs, God is spiritual, so everyone needs sometimes that physical, yeah, interaction with someone when it comes to a problem. So I advise, have good friendship. Some people, they are always in the habit of, if they have a friend for 10 years, even if that person do something bad to them, that person, they know that this person is not a good person. People will say, just the same way people do a relationship. I can't lead a person after all the time. No, there are certain times in life you have to change. You change is one of the constant thing in life. You have to change people, you have to change your environment, you have to change the way you think, you have to change. So causing you if giving you a mental strength is you replacing that friend that have been with you for 20 years and also causing you so much problem and even increasing your mental condition, if change is the only solution, change that person. Find somebody who you can put your trust in. I know it's hard, but it's possible. And the third thing I want to recommend tonight is you can write. You can write. You can journal your feelings. You once the brain works in a way that sometimes if there's so much on your mind, once you are able to write it down, just the same way they say a problem share is half solved, is the same thing. Once you are able to let it out, most especially if you are able to write. If you don't have a journal, this journal thing is not only for women. For me, I like to focus on men because I have a lot of brothers. I have 8 brothers. Okay, so I like to focus on men. Feel that sometimes buying a journal, oh, is that thing a woman thing? Oh, that thing no. No, you can get a journal, you can write your feelings, you can write the way you feel. And once you do that, you will see instantly that at least you will feel that, okay, there is something that has been removed off your chest. I have a journal, even though my journal get lack, but I have a journal. I have a journal. Everyone should have one. Someone would say, but I don't like writing. You have to. That's why I say you have to change. Okay? Sometimes there are certain things you have to do that you don't like for your own benefit. And this is something that you have to engage in. You can write, you can pray, and also find somebody you can trust and talk to them. Also, you can talk to somebody that you don't know. Because if you don't know that person and that person don't know you, there is a high possibility that you will not meet, like, okay, or they will not know people that know you. Because sometimes the only thing we fear is people that know us knowing our problem. You understand? So once you talk to somebody that you really know, you can meet them online. You can search online, counselors. You can talk to a counselor online. You don't have to show your face. Everything is so open today in our 21st century. I know some of them are paid, but once you are able to get such services, you are able to afford it, go for it. But the least thing you should do is die in silence and also drown in silence. So that is it for the recommendation that I have. I'm sure other panelists here will also want to share something.
Thank you so much, Madam President. You know, when you talk about God, you talk about good relationship, you talk about writing. When you talk about God, there are two things that came to my mind. He said, "Come to me, ye that heavy loaded, and I will give you a rest." Further, you remember, right? So whenever you are facing those challenges, like the president said, so to tell you that the president is highly spiritual, you know, and that's the reality about it. The
Yes,
first person
yes.
the first person we should encounter is God. Be it once you are a believer now, you believe in Him, you know, He's able to heal you, right? The song said God can still heal, and He's ready to heal you. There's one thing we He need to do is just to go to Him and say yes.
Come on
And you
to
said
him.
it, Madam
Yes.
President. You talk about good relationship. There are a lot of us now. We want to be stagnated, right? We just want to keep ourselves to a certain set of people. You have to move, like I usually say, Philip. You have to move outside the box. When you feel like this is not working, try another means, try another mentor, and it's going
Yeah.
to work for you. You
I'll
know,
grow things. Yeah.
yeah, you have to move outside the box and see how best you can move yourself forward, because you cannot continue being in one place and feel like even those people who are around you, you cannot get any good advice from them. Nobody is telling you anything that will solve your problem or what of you. So what you need to do, move outside, meet other people. Like you said, when you meet these people, they will be able to find solutions sometimes to those problems and other things that we face. So let's hear you. I believe that Philip, you have one or two things to say, particularly on this question. Let's hear you for the next 60 seconds.
Thank you, sir. You know, I like the points and all you may say advice that the president gave. For me, I'm one person who's big on communication, right? I'm very big on that. Now, she stressed on something. Number one is your relationship with God. Once that is being built and established, I mean, you don't necessarily have to have, that strong intimacy with Him. That's one of the fear we have as people, right? Because we don't want to be that righteous. We don't want to be seen that righteous or over righteous, right? So you don't necessarily have to be intimate with Him. But your ability to go to Him because He's your Father, because He's your maker, your creator, He listens to you. He hear you out, and then He kind of ease all the burdens you have. That's one thing. Do not fear. I just want to break that stigma or barrier. Do not fear. You need not fear. He's your Father. He's your maker. He's your helper. He's your redeemer. So just go to Him as you are, and whatever you have, He's going to give you the rest you need. That's one. Two, like I made mention of me being big on communication. It's not about how many people I talk to, but it's about who I talk to. It's about who I go to explain what's happening on my inside. Because this mental health is actually an internal thing, it's not something external, right? So you have to have a quality relationship. Like the madam said, not just any kind of friendship, because I remember Queen saying security, she feels secure. That's great. Because not many people want their stories to be shared outside. Not many people would like, their secret be shared with the entire community. No. But vulnerability at times is good. Being vulnerable at times is very good. So that's why we have to have a great cycle. Not just anyone we let it in our cycle. That's one thing. If you cannot find that relationship with someone, or that relationship is not being built, now you can go for therapy. It's all over the internet. If you're not that literate enough to browse the internet, somebody is right by you. If you cannot read enough, tell them. Let them play the audio to you so you hear the people speak up. Like that's what I do during my free time. I kind of go, to YouTube and listen to those documentaries after I'm done with my geopolitics and then come to, my post work and stuff. I'm ready to take my nap. I just listen to those people, talking about mental health, talking about your personal growth, and it's important that we do. You have to be big on communication. It's not about the good English. It's not about you being a good speaker. It's about you opening up. Create that space. You could meet a pastor. You could go for a therapy. Seek after therapy. It's important. You could meet a counselor. It's also important and come out on the internet. Watch YouTube video. Not only you scrolling on your Instagram, your Facebook, watching comedy. I mean, people find other ways to ease themselves, right? But Queen said, after you have come out of the audience, the public, what happens? It comes back to you because this thing is on your inside. So it's important that you go to God, like Madam President said, which is good for us, not only Christians, but other people who have their gods. Go to that supreme person, communicate with them, and go for therapy. If you don't have that strong network or connection, you can come out on the internet. If still you can't, what I would suggest to you is that you just have that reflection and you be like, does this thing worth me being worried or me being overwhelmed or me being pressured? Does it worth, my time? You have to give a reflection. And if that doesn't worth you, thinking about or being stressed about or being pressured on, I mean, just
Yeah,
trash it. You have to trash it.
sure.
So I will end by saying that you have to be big on communication. Open up. Don't be
Thank you.
afraid of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Let's hear you, Alfred. I don't know whether you are here with us tonight, Alfred. Let's hear you. What's your own say on this question about people, hesitating when it comes to, sharing those deep feelings they have, those deep things that has been depressing them, they have been suppressing them, those fear they have, right? Oh, when I go and do this, why? What's your own say when it comes to this particular thing tonight, Alfred? Let's hear you in the next 30 seconds, Alfred.
Okay, thank you. You see, one of like when I was speaking for it, and then the thing I made mention of it. One of the key things that kill people or that make people to actually go through a lot of mental stresses when they refuse to actually express this out, when they refuse to express what they are going through, when they actually refuse to have someone that they can talk to, because basically, if you're actually going through these things, there are a lot of things that go in your head. You won't think clearly. You won't think actually the right way to make a rightful decision. You will be at the point wherein that everything you feel around you, everything you see around you, is not actually moving. It just at the bad stage. But if you actually find someone that you can trust, it's not about if this person going to tell this person, any person going to tell another person, because that's one of the thoughts that come in most people here. If I'm going to tell Philly, Philly going to tell Miles going to tell Queen, Queen going to tell Miss Jocelyn, these are and then my probably just going to go around. You know, that's some of the thoughts that comes with our head, and then we actually try to keep it into ourselves. Say, then when we go to the main side, they'll say, okay, if I say out, they'll say, oh, you are not a man, men are not supposed to complain, so because that you shouldn't speak. Because men are not supposed to complain. So now at that point, now you just keep it to yourself. But if you have someone that you can trust, someone that you can actually express your feelings to, okay, now if you don't have any of the friends that you trust, or any of the family members that you do trust, like Miss Johnson said, you can find a therapist, someone that you can talk to, someone that actually is an expert into this field. And you can actually talk to, you explain your problem to them. And then, even if they cannot provide a solution immediately, but the words of encouragement will help you a lot. Emotional support will help you a lot and make at least and make you to relieve from whatever burden you are actually going through. Thank you, my brother Maris.
you so much. Madam President, if you just read our comment section just now, somebody is saying that they are so excited to come across this program tonight. Like I said, there are people who are passing through these things right now as we speak. And yes, we are tonight providing this information, and people are so excited. They are giving their own testimony. Even though we are not conducting, spiritual deliverance here, but there is a mental deliverance we are. Yeah, sorry, these are mental deliverance we are carrying on right now, and I believe that people are getting some, they are getting some advice, and I feel like they are going to take it, and it's going to help them a lot. So before I get to my co-host who will continue the program tonight, Madam President, we want to ask you this question. You know,
Excuse me, Miles. There is a
yeah,
request
Philip.
in the comment section. There is a request in the
Yeah,
comment section. Lisa,
yeah, yeah,
she was
yeah, yeah.
like, she
I'm
said,
seeing it, but you just have.
go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, but we have to wait on that. Right? Let's just wait, and then once we are done with that, we'll come to that particular question or request. Okay, thank you. So, Madam President, let's move straightly to this. Madam President, in your own knowledge or practical, experience, just tell us in your own opinion, right? What are those biggest misconceptions, that people have today when pertaining mental health, being a weakness? What's your own opinion when it comes to that in your own, practical knowledge to us tonight? What are those misconceptions, that people carry tonight of mental health being a weakness? Let's speak to that, Madam President, before we move on.
Okay, thank you. There are a few misconceptions that I want to throw light on that leads to mental health, okay, or that leads to mental conditions. One of those things, for me, I'm a female, and one of those things is a girl child or a teenager that gets pregnant at a very early age. And people thinking that once a teenager gets pregnant at a very, very early age, there is no future for them. Do you know that that is one thing that destroys many females? But that is a misconception. If, in a way that if a child mistakenly born, have a baby at a very tender age, that child still have a future. But society always have that conception or perception that once a child has a child, it means that there is no future. No, we want to say no to that tonight. A girl child who has a baby at a very tender age, maybe because of ignorance, still have a future. So whosoever is there with that child should still be able to motivate, should still be able to support that child. Most of the things that people do today is when a young girl have a baby at a very young age, everyone draws their support. But that's a misconception that a child who mistakenly have a child or can or will not have a future. That's one of the things that makes many young ladies or young people at the end of the day, they find themselves being market women, they find themselves being, because their mind have been tampered with. Okay, and the next misconception here is a man who speaks out his feeling is weak. A man who speaks out his emotion is weak. A man who talks maybe for at least maybe 2 or 3 5 minutes is a talkative. You hear people saying that, yeah, why don't want talking a day? Talking to a woman.
Yeah.
Who gave the timing for woman to talk, and who gave the timing for men to talk? So these are misconceptions. A man who expresses himself is a man who is emotionally intelligent and knows that what he's saying or what he have to do at a particular time so that he can be able to function well as a man. So it's a misconception that a man who expresses himself is weak. I want to say today that a man who expresses himself is a strong man who is emotionally intelligent, and he knows what to do to be able to function properly with a good state of mind and to be able to navigate life. So if you are a man out there, anyone told you that because you express yourself you are weak, I want to tell you today that is wrong. And thirdly, one thing again I want to focus on here is a society that thinks that drugs dealers have no future. If somebody is doing drugs, people do drugs for so many reasons. I'm not here supporting it, but there are many young boys, many young girls that have been dragged into drugs use or abuse only because of peer pressure, only because of being in the wrong association, only because of the wrong environment. So it's a misconception that a person who have been a drugs abuser before has no future and will always be a drugs abuser. That's a misconception. Once that person is free from drugs, that person can still contribute significantly to the society. So if you are out there and you have abused drugs before, and anyone told you or people look down on you because you have been a drugs addict before and you have changed, I just want you to step up today and be able to tell yourself that yes, I know I have done this. This is where emotional intelligence comes in. This is where you help yourself and make your mental state your strength. You step out and say to yourself, I did this, yes, because first you have to acknowledge what you have done. That's the only way you can be able to overcome and to be able to cope. So once you have already acknowledged that fact that yes, I have done drugs before, but now I'm free, I have a future. So these are some of the misconceptions that are in the society that we need to be able to change. I like to stop here and also hear from others.
Thank you so much, Madam President, for that. We appreciate so much, on this particular question. And to our brother, thank you so much. I think Philip, you just responded to him, but thank you so much for contacting us. So we have a PDF we're gonna share with you. Like you said, you contact us already. So right after the show, we hope that you will be able to see your message, and then we will definitely give you a PDF of these things that we have make already, those information we have made already, that you can be able to read and also share with other people as well, that will help them, when it comes to those things that they are faced with. So Philip, let me just give you at least 30 seconds again to just maybe you have something to say regarding this particular question before we move on to our co-host.
Could you please repeat the question again, please? Because I was busy in the comment section. Nice. Nice. Are you there?
Yeah, are you there? Here's a question, Philip. In your own opinion, right? What are those biggest misconceptions people have when regarding this issue of mental health? It's not a weakness. What are those misconceptions? And then our president just provides some information. So I want to give you maybe less than at least 10 or 15 seconds to just say something on that before we move to our co-host tonight.
Well, what I will share with us tonight is, very simple to all of us. Uh, Miss Tumi said that when people tend to speak up their issue, when they tend to share their issue, people consider you as a talkative, right? And I mean, that's not the case. That's not the situation. Once a person is big on communication, the person does not want to actually damage themselves emotionally. So whenever we speak up, it is our sign of responsibility and self-awareness. Because once you are self-aware about your feelings, as I said earlier on, once you are big on communication, that means you are self-aware. And once your self-awareness is kind of open and it's kind of strong enough, what happens? You tend to communicate your feelings, your emotion with people. So I don't think that we communicating our feelings, we sharing, our anxiety, we sharing people high expectations with us that they have for us that we cannot meet. We cannot share it with others. Does not take us, as a weak people. We are strong. That's why we speak up to share what's happening on our inside. rather than just keeping it on our inside. And I posted something on my Facebook recently where I talk about me focusing on my own journey rather than focusing on the next person's life. So all these things, when you kind of focus on people, that's what happened. If you kind of give, too much of attention to what people may say about you based on what you have done, what happens? You fall a prey. What happens? You damage yourself. What happens? You walk into that which you never even planned for. So it's important that we just, open up ourselves and just, find someone to talk to or go for a therapy. So we being a talkative doesn't mean that we are weak enough or we are weak vessels. No, I will stop on that.
Thank you so much. So, to all of our men who are watching tonight, we want to say, like our president said to us tonight, you expressing yourself does not mean that it's something that is bad. But I also want to add this, right? Expressing yourself in a constructive manner, right? Not in a destructive manner, right? Because there are some men just talk and they talk thing that is not relevant even to society or what they express. So it is good that you express yourself, but I want to say this, like it should be a constructive manner that you express yourself because mind you, there are others who out there sometimes, the way you speak, that's how people addresses you, right? That's why you see sometimes people say, yeah, men, men, men. So it is good that yes, expressing yourself is very good, your emotions and what have you, but let it be so constructive, not in a descriptive manner. So having said this, I would like to join my co-host tonight. Maybe she have one or two things to say regarding this question, and she definitely going to draft us to the second segment of this program. So before we get to her, let's take at least just a 1 minute or 2 minutes musical break. Once we get back, the flow will be given to our co-host. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream from Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture, Maya's TV, Maya's TV, bringing light each day, stories that guide us, show the way. One love, one voice, one destiny. Welcome to the future, Maya's TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true. But when I'm Mayans, we are new. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into
Okay, Miss Queen, are you here tonight?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah,
Okay,
Myers,
okay.
I was
So
enjoying the music, man.
okay. So tomorrow we're gonna be launching our second. Tomorrow we'll be launching our second song. Just imagine that one is coming with another vibe. So to all of our people, get ready tomorrow. Mario Studio is coming with another vibe, another song again. Let's enjoy this whole year. It's gonna be so nice being with us always.
But I ain't feeling voice in that music.
No, I tell.
Philip, I know you from the time you were small, so I know you very well.
Thank you.
Okay, so tonight we want to turn the floor over to our co-host. We're gonna draft through the second segment of the program. Miss Queen, the floor is yours tonight.
Thank you so much, our host, Mr. Bona Myers. So you people was talking, a lot of things came into my mind when it comes to leaders. How leaders their own experience as well. Because imagine you're going through a lot of things and then you still have to tell it seems it might even be more than what you are going through and then You are telling the student is well, just be okay. In fact, they call you every time, to take your advice. It's not easy. It's not
Uh,
easy, but as a leader, as a parent, you should also, as a pastor, you should also have that one person that you can confide in. Because once you finish advising people, you understand, you finish encouraging them, you have already taken a lot of things, but you need somebody that can refill that. You need someone who can refill these things, at least that you'll be able to be energized as well. Because it's not actually easy for some of us that that we have friends. I have a lot of friends that many days they call me, they explain to me, explain, and you won't believe I even go through worse of things. But I don't like people bringing a problem to me, and then I'm here also putting my problem on you. I only speak with you from experience, to make you feel that I'm in your shoe. But I don't tell you this what happened to me. So they feel that, in fact, my other friend look at me once
don't,
and say,
don't,
I don't
don't
go through
matter where
anything.
John Rex.
My friend look at me the other time and say, I don't go through anything. When you said that, I actually laugh because I don't like people bringing a problem to me. I think that I'm stressing of my problem. No, what I do many days, just these days, what I do once I have problem, they have a lot of apps, a lot of websites like Mental AI. I don't know. I think the probably is familiar of that. That's my best friend. I confide in Mental AI. Go first, yeah. But even things I cannot explain to my parent that I cannot voice out, I have to ask me that in every aspect of my life, how can I do this? What should I do? Mental AI
Hey,
also help as well.
Miss Queen, come on, leave Meta AI. Yeah, over. Meta is so good.
Actually, Queen, let me just share this quickly. Somebody
Okay.
now can ask me for my email, I will give it to you. You can ask me for my WhatsApp, I will give it to you. But don't ask me for my chat GPT. I will not give it to you. I will not open it for you.
Okay. I have my partner. I have
Madam
my
President,
partner.
quick before you go on, like now when I text you a chat GPT, I always use the word please, please, please. Can
And
you
then I
please
can
put
get I can
the
open any app for anybody on my phone, but not my chat GPT. You can't go
I'm
there.
serious. We both were the same, Madam President. Yes, the thing that I explained. People think that if there's something happened to me, God forbid tomorrow, you almost know hold my phone. You can know what the cause of my death. When that's something that happened, because every aspect of my life I explain the mental area. Like we talk just like a physical person, like a physical person, because as a leader we have to be very careful, okay? People cannot come to you with a problem and then explain, as myself going through this problem, like this person is hoping on you. They are depending on you for a solution, they need a remedy to that. So you have to be emotionally controlled, stable. Like imagine telling somebody is well, to your voice is not even well. Like our
Yeah,
president said, it's not even well. Your school fee is not paid, your rent and student coming. Oh, this is happening to me, you will leave steady. And at the end of the day, that student expect to score A plus. Oh, yeah. If you score that A plus, oh, say, I thought she leader, I thought he leader. So, these are things. It's not just easy. It's not just easy. Absolutely. But happy is, that's the beauty of life. You have to be a mentor to someone. You have to be that one that someone can say, I'm going through this thing. Let me call Miss Josephine Smith. Let me call Philip. Let me call Alfred. Let me call Myers. These are things is actually good as well. So, Madam President, coming to you, I want to ask a few questions. So, how can friends and family, government, our institution help? Like people who are facing mental illness, maybe perhaps your work, maybe the government, your friends, how can they come around to build that support as a person who is going through these challenges, through these struggles?
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very good question, and for me, I firstly like to say, the first step in solving a problem is being able to state the problem. Okay, and once you state the problem, that is you have already found the root of the problem, because something that you understand the foundation, that is the only thing you can explain. So once you know the root, you will be able to state it. And once you state your problem, what your family and friends or government or anybody, the support they can give you, firstly, is listening ears. You cannot solve a situation that you don't comprehend or that you don't understand. So you first listen to what that person. Sometimes all somebody needs is just somebody to listen. But there are some people, as soon as you start talking, as soon as you say, oh, this thing like the same thing happened to my grandma, the other time it happened to my auntie. Yeah, I know the thing you want to say. No, you have to be patient and listen. And that's one thing I've learned as a leader. You have to be patient and listen. Even if you are tired, even if you are stressed, as Queen said, you have to listen. Once you listen, if you have a solution or recommendation for them at that time, you give it to them instantly. If they need physical presence as a solution, and you are able or you are capable of being there with them physically, because this is where people commit suicide. If somebody tells you something, sometimes just listening is not enough. Once you see the the level of their problem or the level of their situation, if it calls for you to be there physically, please be there physically for them. Because sometimes somebody tell you something and that person have already decided, as soon as I tell you the thing or I tell the person the thing, I'm going to kill myself. So you have to be very intelligent to be able to read and see what the best solution you can do. But you have to be present. Present means you have to be there listening keenly to them. If you have a recommendation, give it to them. And if you can be present for them in physical or physically, please be present for them. If you cannot be there physically, if you can recommend somebody to go there and check on them, go there and check on them. Life is so short, life is one, and everyone is the custodian of another person's life. So take care of each other and be there always for people. Thank you so much. That's what I want to share on that question.
Thank you so much to our guests. It's actually good, like I said from the initial stage, that this topic, these are awareness for us to educate our people, even ourselves here. Trust me, one way or other, we have learned something from here. One
Yeah.
way or other, we have been released from something here. So it's not about only the public, but even ourselves coming together, sharing our ideas, our thoughts, our experience that cause somebody, people might be here today that have gotten strength from this. You don't know about that. They might not come out, but they are listening. They might not come in, but I think it may a word to someone today. So it's actually important. So let's hear from Philip on this question. What's your thoughts? 1 minute. You know how I
Yes,
aim when it comes to that.
yes, yes. All salute, all salute. All right, so I will just buttress what Madam President has said. Like she spoke wisely, and I just want to build up on that. Community support is key, right? So right in that small community we are, you a youth organization that females can just, let's look at it, gender wise, right? Female can just gather themselves, not just going for this party, not just going for this pool thing, going for this video club thing, or this beauty pageant. Far above that, far away from that, you can just open this cycle, this organization. Let the girls speak up. You speak up, share your feelings right in that circle. It's important. Not you sitting on the little bowl, or going here and there and just gossiping. No, let's graduate from that and coming to the boys. We can open our voice.
But Philip, why you attacking the women? Who say you
No,
say now that men can gossip? I will not take that.
The issues are there. Let's not make this as a debate.
Because we say
I,
men will express themselves
Because
and they expressing too much. But
we
anyway,
won't
go
sit
ahead.
there and that happen, Philip.
I think that so it's
That's how
important.
these guys do. They always attacking us here, but especially here in Africa.
Yeah,
Okay,
that protecting. You are protected. Go ahead.
I mean, important, right? Let the girls meet. Let them have a gathering. To discuss the issues they are faced with. Likewise, the boys, the men. Establish that organization in the community, in your church, at your school, at your workplace. So community support is very key on this one. And I mean, if you just can't trust your community, friends, you can seek for professional counseling, right? Go out to the therapy, pay for it. It's important. And I will, make this request to our government as well. If you don't see a citizen actually organizing that, the government can allocate funds for that, especially the Ministry of Health or Education. They could do that. Establish these things in schools, establish these things in the hospitals, in the clinic. Have someone stationed that people can walk to in the clinic or hospital and share their problem. Even at school, the kids are underperforming. They're not doing well, they are stressed. Family expectations are high. So you have to have an office space, a station, someone is there trained for counseling students, so the student can easily walk to them on a Wednesday, on a Friday, or on a Monday. So it's important. Let's start to organize, those organizations that will actually help us to improve our mental health. And again, family support is key. Let's offer the emotional support. If one family in Liberia or in other African countries can take on the initiative of organizing a family emotional support time, let's do. We can make a recommendation to other family, the next family, the next family. By the time you get to know it, we can all start to, build this skill of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. And we can be able to regulate how we feel, how we think, and how we communicate. So I will stop on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our panelist, Mr. Philip Dolo. So, for those that have just joined, our topic is mental health is not a weakness. So, Madam President, do you have anything that you wanted to say? Perhaps we didn't ask you the question as expected, or you have something that when someone was talking that driving to your mind you want to share with us?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. For me, I just want to share practically like how I try and keep my mental health intact, because the reality for my life is a very busy one, and to manage everything that I have to do and to be effective in most of them, I have to schedule on what I have to do. Okay, so that's why sometimes when I don't say yes to everything. Okay, you don't say yes to everything because you become overwhelmed, and once you are overwhelmed it leads to tension. Once you are having tension, your mind cannot function properly. If your mind is not functioning properly, you might have a headache. If you have a headache, now your mental health is what is disturbed. So you cannot say yes to everything. You have to set your priorities right as well. What is more beneficial to you, and only you can decide that. Some people, the one reason why they are stressed, they are having anxiety, is because their life are not organized. They are not organized in their life. There is nothing organized. Everything, if somebody say, oh, let's go this way, yes, let's go. And when you come back you feel exhausted, then you say, oh, a lot is going on. No, a lot is not going on. You are just busy doing nothing. You are just busy with no results. And once you are into something that is not bringing you result, you feel unfulfilled. And if you feel unfulfilled, you start asking yourself some questions that you shouldn't even be asking yourself. You shouldn't even be in that position in the first place. So you have to organize your life so that once something is falling apart, you definitely know what is falling apart and what you can do about it. The second thing is that manage your emotions correctly. As a person, you have to be able to understand yourself, and this thing is very, it's something that we take to be common, but it's very very critical. If you don't take time to learn who you are, to understand who you are, to learn your own self, the way you behave, the way you think, it's very difficult for you to manage your emotions. Some people act before they think. Okay, but you have to manage your emotions. Somebody can come to you with anger and start insulting you, and you too, because you don't have that emotional maturity, you jump at the person. That's also, maybe the person is going through mental tension at that time. So you accept the say crazy person drag your lapa, you accept, you start running behind them. So this is where you have to manage your emotions. And these things are things that you have to put work in. If you are out there and you feel that you don't understand where you are, you feel that your life is not the way it has to be, my dear, just start it one at a time. Do it one at a time. Do one thing at a time. Take you can, as I said, use AI. Ask AI, this is how my life is. Even though ask God first, because for me, I will never put artificial thing over God. Pray to God and ask Him what He wants you to do. And once you do that, you can also take some help. You know, ask, what can I do? This is the situation. What can be done in this time? They will bring you some simple thing. Even if you say put in ABC, they will bring it for you, but never be in the position where you feel stuck and you feel way down. The biggest thing that is disturbing people mental health is relationships. Boyfriend and girlfriend thing, husband and wife thing is disturbing people mental, because emotions is the biggest weight on the humans, on the humans well-being. Once your emotions are not managed well, you tend to have problems. So, as I said, get in good relationships. Why you will be in a relationship where you are being abused and then you are suffering, you are stressed, and you say it's love? No, it's not love. It's because you are not able to come to that point where you are able to love yourself, and you are begging for love. I'm not saying leave your relationship. Don't say my president said I should leave my relationship. All I'm saying is get in good relationship so that you can be able to manage your emotions well. So once you are able to get your life organized, you are able to understand who you are and be able to manage your emotions well. That is the first step to have a good mental state. And once you have that, don't get involved in things that you have no business with, like drugs, alcohol, being an alcoholic, all these things. Just take your health seriously and also regulate your life in a way that it profits you and it profits the people around you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so so much to our guests. When you were speaking, you did mention about relationship is causing people. You know, there's a saying that says you'll be no more enter in a relationship, you move
Taylor,
from
why
there
you
will be
smiling? Taylor, why you smiling?
you are moving there, you are moving there where I don't know, it's not yet easy. And these guys nowadays break their problem. If you stop entering relationship for 6 years, maybe for a heartbreak, you still come back, they will still break your heart. So that's a that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing
I
about
think
it.
if
But
they break your heart twice, you are the problem. If they break your heart twice,
yeah,
you are the problem. Because you
yeah,
you you still don't understand which relationship to get into. That's why
yeah,
they
sure,
break your heart.
sure. Yeah, it's just good to. Yeah. It's just good as a person to stay in a healthy community, build a really healthy relationship, family that will be able to support you, because it's normal that you will go through stress. But those people that are in your cycle, those people that you call your friend, your community, these are people that have to come lobby around you to bring you back, to the spotlight, because stress is not just easy. So we have fast time of fast spin. Let's hear from Philip for a parting comment. After that, we'll take our host Myers before coming to our guest in studio. 1 minute, sir.
Thank you so much. I would like to, end by extending my thanks to Mace to me for coming, on the conversation tonight. I mean, she came with great insights. She came with experiences, and we thank God that people are being healed mentally, and we ourselves have been healed also. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to always be on the Myers Television to share my own insights on whatever topic being given. So I would say to everyone listening tonight and the ones who will come across this video or this podcast that your mental health is not about you being weak. No, it's far above that. It's actually about you recognizing what you need when you are broken, what you need when you are broken. What are those solutions that I need when I'm stressed, when I'm overwhelmed, when I have, unrealistic expectations, what is that safe place I can go to reduce these things, to get relief from these things? So it's important. And please, I'm leaving with this thing. Always be open to communicate how you think, how you feel, and what you say. You should always be big on communication. Always be always be a good communicator is important because whenever you share your problem, not to as many people, but the very few faithful people, you found solution. And always go back to God. I take this one from my president. Always go back to God and share all your thoughts, all that you feel on your inside, and He's going to give you rest. He's going to heal you. He's going to redeem. He's going to deliver you and give you all that you need. So let's open up. Let's be vulnerable. Let's create space for communication. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for our panelist, Mr. Toto. So yes, my host, Mr. Myers Puna. I always like to call your full name. It's the Myers Puna. What's your parting statement?
Thank you so much, my co-host. Thank you for tonight. I appreciate. And let me extend my thanks and appreciation to Madam Jocelyn BC Tume, who always coming to our call. And just to inform our audience, Madam Tume is going to be with us the entire week. You're going to see her here Friday, and she will be classing here on Saturday. So it's going to be a great one. Like she said, come with your pen and paper. You see mine. I have mine already. There are key notes. I'm taking here, and because we are all learning here, right? We don't know all. That's why we are here today to all get something back and work on our own self. So there are a few things I want to share with us before I close. One thing, to our parents, guardians, society at large, let's start calling people after their situation. Let's start naming them after the situation that they are going through. When somebody face a problem in life, and after they are trying to heal from that problem, and you are calling them that particular name, it becomes serious problem for them. They try to struggle. Like I said, that's why you see a lot of people feel like they want to give up in life, right? Because they are now being named after their problem they're going through. Maybe, for example, this person were into prostitution, and with the help of God, the person left from there. Coming now, the person have realized their mistake, but yesterday you are still calling them that kind of name. They want once, yeah, it makes them to think, yeah, why I have to leave that place and come here. I feel like we have found comfort, and which of course, they are not finding it, and it become problem for them. It play on them mentally. And at the end of the day, they feel like, no, I think I can no longer fit in society. And like Queen was saying, and then now the president, at the end of the day, you found that sometimes they want to commit suicide. So I want to say to us, let's start naming people after their situation. It's something that is very bad. And finally, I want to say to us, Matthew chapter 6, verse 25 talks about, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will bring your own self. Everything about tomorrow is there. When tomorrow reach, you'll be able to see those things that come for tomorrow. You'll be able to handle tomorrow. While you are in today, right now, let's see our best to face those things that is before us. There are a lot of us, and the reason why we are dying slowly, or we are being mentally ill, is because we worry too much about tomorrow. We feel like, no, this thing, I think I cannot do it, and other thing, we question ourselves too much. Let me say to us, like our president say, right, when you are facing challenges, one of the key questions you go to, the first priority is God. If you believe in him, you run to him. And he said to us in his word, let us not worry about tomorrow, because he, God, knows everything about our lives. So when you try to worry about tomorrow now, you try to face problem today, and what happens? You become mentally ill while you get to tomorrow, and now society try to look at you otherwise. So that's why we are here tonight, to bring the awareness to us, and I hope every one of us can be able to learn. And I know we have learned something from this. Let's go back now to implement it in our lives. There will be a transformation from us, and then that society will see us differently. I want to say thank you so much, and may God bless every one of us. Madam co-host, thank you.
So that was the voice of our host. Having to be the phone of the Myers TV. So one of the most important things that I take from here tonight is our president said that if we have problem, the first person we should turn to is God. For
Yeah.
me, if you are listening to me, I encourage you to follow the Almighty God. But if you have a different religious, you can still much confide in yours as well. But I encourage you to follow my God, to trust in Him. He said, "If my people that I call by my name," you know, I love that scripture so much. Whenever I go through trials and temptation, I feel weak to pray to fast. This scripture it gave me so much strength that said, "If my people that I call by
Second
my name."
Chronicles 7:14,
Yeah,
right?
he said with whom, yeah, I'm sure. He said with humble themselves and fast and pray, seek my face. And say, I call, I will turn from heaven, forgive their sin, I will heal their land, I will heal their pain, I will take away their stress. You know, I'm trying to preach here tonight, but this scripture gave me so much hope. I tell you no lie, this scripture gave me so much hope to stay focused, to pray, to lean on God. You know, everything. So thank you so much. So let's hear our partners coming from our guests. You are welcome, Miss Tommy.
Thank you so much. I just want to leave us with few things. First thing is to protect your mental health. You have to protect the information you receive. You have to scrutinize the information you receive, the things you see, and the things you listen to. Once you are able to scrutinize the things you see and the things you listen to, it helps with the things that goes on in your mind. And once you fill your mind with good things and your eyes with good things, those are the thoughts that are going to be in your mind. The Bible says focus or stay your mind on things that are above: love, peace, patience, joy. Once you pay attention to these things, they are going to fill your mind and you are going to be in peace. The second thing I want to tell you, if you have gone through anything in life before, any stigmatization, that is not your life. That is not the end. Learn from your past, live in your present, and prepare for a better future. It's possible now. You can do it. And I tell you, once you take one right step by trying to explain to somebody, by taking a therapy, by seeking support from a trusted friend, you are getting it right. You are doing it right. And the last thing I want you to know is once it didn't kill you, it cannot break you. Once it didn't kill you, it cannot break you. Whatever that happens in your life is a lesson for you to learn. And once it is done, no matter what people say, you focus on what you believe now or the reality that is in front of you. And once you change from something, even if thousands of people call you by that name, it only depends on what you decide to call yourself. That's why I say emotional intelligence is very, very important. You have to be emotionally aware, you have to be emotionally sensitized, you have to understand who you are. So, with that being said, I just want to say thanks to all of you for being here. We learned a lot. I learned a lot from everyone here tonight. There are things that have been shared from Alfred. I just want to say thank you so much.
President, are you there?
And from Alfred, I just want to say thanks for always having me. I will be here tomorrow with you again on another exciting topic. Continue following the Myers TV. Also, I want to say thanks to all the followers watching tonight, everyone out there commenting. I see you and I want to appreciate you for your support to this TV. I want to say thanks to our host and CEO for inviting me here. Uh, then there will be main feature and will be, we say, yeah. I said the future is now, and I can see it's getting bigger by the day. I want to say thanks to Philip for always being there. Thank you for serving as a panelist here with me. I want to say thanks to my co-host there. You guys are doing exceptionally well. I want to say thank you all. Let's continue doing this, synthesizing our youth, our people, and the world at large. Liberia have us. We have Liberia, and the world has it. Thank you so much. God bless you wherever you are tonight. And I say thank you for having me. I see you. Bye bye from my end.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Okay, bye. Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. Good night. So, for those that have been here, with all those that are joining, we want to say thanks, and those that watch our show after, want to say thank you so much. So this is how we call down curtains for today's edition. I want to say bye bye. See you Friday. See you Saturday. Good night from my end. Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.
Yeah. Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope.